Hey everybody. I'm here to talk about me and Orson Welles. I love this movie. I saw it in the theater last year. It seems like it's been forever since it was in the theater and came out on DVD. Easily one of my favorite movies of last year, of 2009. It's about a young man. I was going to say moving to New York, but I believe he lives in New York. But getting into the acting scene, knows he wants to be an artist of some kind, gets into the acting scene, and just so happens to audition and land a job at the Mercury Theater Group, which is Orson Welles' Broadway theater group in New York. And it's about his experience while a part of the Mercury Theater. Mainly dealing with the brutal genius of Orson Welles. I'm going for a 9 for the film. I could possibly see myself buying this movie in the future because this movie really speaks to my heart. I find it really inspirational. So I want to add that this review might be biased, but there's no way that this can get below an 8. And again, I don't know if I'd ever call it a 10, but I do love it, and I do see myself buying it and watching it occasionally. But again, I don't think even the average moviegoer could give this under an 8. I mean, it's good stuff. But again, I'm going a solid 9. You know, I really love it. The performances are inspirational. Christian McKay, who is a relative unknown, I am not familiar with him, nails it. Nails it. He was sorely overlooked for an Oscar nomination. I didn't expect him to win, especially against Christoph Waltz, but at least a nomination. I don't get why he wasn't nominated. One of the best performances of the year, period. And again, he's playing this magnetic character to begin with. So, and again, he just nails it. He's electric in this movie. Also stars Zac Efron. He's the main character, and as you can tell, they're marketing it like Zac Efron is the focus of the film, and I guess he kind of is. He is the main character. And, you know, I didn't want him to be good just because he's so damn pretty, but he's a good actor, and he can sing, and he can dance, and, you know, he can do all that performer stuff. And he can do it quite well. So I must begrudgingly give it up to Zac Efron. Also stars Claire Danes as, well, everyone's love interest. I love Claire Danes. I've had a crush on her since My So-Called Life. She's good here. She's gorgeous. She's really coming into her own, I think. It's directed. I'm going to see written screenplay. No, it's not. Written by Holly Gent Palmo and Vince Palmo. I guess the Palmo family, possibly. And directed by the great Richard Linklater. The pacing is kind of odd. It's like a series of duets, almost. Like the entire film is just moving from scene to scene with just like 2 people, maybe 3 tops. But basically, the movie is 2 great actors having a scene together. And then it goes from 2 other great actors having a scene together to 2 other great actors having a scene together. And so maybe the first 20 minutes is almost just like I don't know, it feels odd, but it slowly becomes I don't know, you slowly get wrapped up in it. I don't know how else to say it, but it's just like it feels very much like a play. It's very old-fashioned. It's a period piece. It takes place in the 1930s, and I mean, it really feels like the 1930s. I mean, the way it was shot. First of all, the costumes, the cinematography, the set design. It's all perfect. I mean, you were transported there. And then the way that it's shot and directed, and the way the camera moves, still, I mean, is like a very old-fashioned type of filmmaking. So that really adds to it, helps with the illusion. Really well written. Really well written. It's basically a screenplay of character insight, of character development, character realization and revelation. And it really gives you an insight, and this is why I think I love the movie so strongly, is it really gives you an insight into the mind of an artist, the way an artist works, and sometimes, I just want to say actor, the way that sometimes an actor works. And it also deals into the psychology of being an actor, what it takes, the price you pay. It reveals, it's a perfect, like, behind the scenes. It's totally authentic. It's totally authentic. I can tell you from personal experience that it's totally authentic. So again, it's like, in a way, it felt like at some points I was watching little bits and pieces of my life. Wow, that's happened to me. Or, I've done that. Or I've been in that situation. So, again, the movie really spoke to me because I felt in some way that I lived some of it. And am living some of it. It almost brings me to tears, this movie. I can't tell you how good Christian McKay is. He's unbelievable as Orson Welles. The climax of the film is basically kind of getting to see Julius Caesar, the great Shakespeare play. That's kind of the climax of the film, is just to get to see a chunk of this play. And as a side note, you always kind of forget, or maybe it's growing older or whatever, but, when you're a teenager, you don't, at least I didn't get so much into Shakespeare, and I'm an actor. But when you see Shakespeare done by the level of quality performers that are in this film and that perform the play, man, you just aren't aware of the power of the works of Shakespeare. But again, when someone can get a hold of it and really chew it apart, man, awesome stuff. So, I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to say about this movie. Other than it's one of, again, I could see myself buying this movie because I will want to watch some of the performances and hear the message of the film and be inspired by the characters of the film at some point. That's pretty much why I watch movies again for an infinite amount of times, is for some type of satisfaction in my heart. And this definitely will do that for me. So, I don't know what else to say, but I think this is a must rent. It didn't make much money in the theater. Not, many people saw it. It was barely out. I don't even think it cracked the top 10. And I think that's a shame, because I think it's a great film. One of the best of last year. Me and Orson Welles. It's a solid 9. It's a must rent. Check it out. Thanks.